everyone, and welcome to another 3 Looks 1 palette. Today I'll be using the Feral palette, which I know a lot of you have been waiting for. If you haven't already seen this, I have definitely filmed with this quite a bit. This is what it looks like. I'll be doing 3 looks with this, and this is also going to be a collab video. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you already know this person because we have collabed before, and this is Betty Jean. Her channel name is Beaut Bean. I absolutely love her. She's been one of my friends on YouTube before I even started my channel. She's been so supportive of me, and I love her grungy style. She is great. She's also the one who got me into crazy colored hair, so I just want to thank you again for that because I am obsessed and I'm never going back. So if you guys haven't already checked out Beaut Bean's channel, I would highly recommend that you do so. Her looks are amazing. She is so creative. She also started a color theory series, and her first episode was amazing, so if that's something that you're interested in, definitely recommend checking out her channel. So this is also going to be a voiceover style because when I started filming my first look, the neighbors decided that the leaf blower was a good idea, so they started blowing leaves everywhere. So I'm gonna be doing this voiceover, and since I know Betty Jean always does that in her videos, I feel like we're kind of gonna be on the same page. So that's what we're doing today, and I'll be filming the third look after I'm done with this intro, so when you see the first look, I'll be wearing a different outfit and stuff, but just ignore that. And I'll also have a review on this palette after I am done with my 3 looks, so stay tuned for that. If you want to just skip to the review, you can skip to this point right here. If not, and you want to see all the looks, let's get into look number 1. I am starting off look number 1 by priming my eyes with my MAC paint pot like I always do, and I do not set my base in any of these 3 looks. And that's because I just prefer the pigmentation in my shadows when I don't, because I just feel like they pop more. For the first shadow I'm dipping into Night Ice, which is this beautiful yellow shade, and I'm taking a kind of small fluffy brush and I'm tucking this into my inner corner. And the reason why I'm starting with my inner corner is because I am putting a matte shade in my inner corner, and it is a lot easier to layer other shades on top of a very light matte than it is to layer a light matte on top of other shades. And this just ensures that I leave enough room for this shade to make sure that it really stands out. I am then taking Wisteria, which is this beautiful pink shade, and I'm taking this on a flat brush and I'm putting this in the middle of my eye, all over my lid and also up into my crease, because this is going to be an all matte look. And I'm also just using the same brush and kind of blending as we go, going back and forth and making sure that it's looking smooth. And for the outer part of my eye, I am taking Allium, which is a beautiful purple shade, and this one doesn't show up as dark on my eye as it does in the pan somehow. So I'm really working on just packing this on with a small fluffy Luxie brush that I really love, and I got this in a set in a BoxyCharm, and it's one of the best brush sets that I think I've ever gotten. And I'm just working on the outer part of my eye here, making sure that the shape is the way that I want it. And I am also pulling the same shade down onto my lower lash line and really winging this out. I'm then taking the pink shade again, and I am just putting that on the middle of my lower lash line, just mimicking what I have on top. I'm of course also going in with the yellow again and making sure that the yellow is connected to my lower lash line and the pink that I have in the middle. And I'm also packing on a little bit more to make sure that it pops. And because the name of this series in December is 31 Days of Glitter, we have to of course go in with some glitter, and this is my Steely Glitter and Glow in Gold Goddess. I'm taking this on a small eyeliner brush, and I'm trying to really pack this on, but I'm running out, so I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm focusing most of the glitter in my inner corner and then sort of just fading it gently out over the pink, because I do want there to be a bit of a gradient there. I'm also taking some of that glitter onto my first third of my lower lash line. In my waterline, I am using a white pencil from NYX, which is really good, and I am also using my DHC Cosmetics liquid liner to make a wing before curling my lashes and putting on some of my all-time favorite Bad Gal Bang mascara. And then for lipstick, I am using Watermelon Soda by Jeffree Star, and that will sum up look number 1. And because I'm nosy, I'm going to leave a poll up in the corner for you guys to vote on which look was your favorite, because I just really want to know. Now moving into look number 2, this is going to be a smoky eye, very easy to recreate. So I'm first dipping into Ivy, which is the darkest green. I'm using this on a flat brush and I'm packing it all over my lid. And also with that same brush, I'm just kind of buffing out the edges a little bit so that when I go in to blend it out with a lighter shade afterwards, it's already going to have a little bit of a gradient. And to do so, I'm using Fenris on my Morphe E17 brush, which is just a small fluffy blending brush. And I'm just taking my time here, slowly using small circular motions and building up the color gradually to make sure that the blend is looking really nice and smooth. And to really make this look pop, I'm going in with Allium, which is the purple shade again, and I'm packing this onto my lower lash line with a pencil brush. And when I'm happy with how the shadow is looking, I am going in with a big fluffy brush and just really blending this out. My inner corner, I am taking the shade that I'm sure you've all been waiting for me to use, and I'm spraying this with some Fix Plus and just plopping it right into my inner corner, as well as dragging it onto my lid and down onto my lower lash line to really make this shade stand out. For the glitter in this look, I'm taking one that I've never used before that I think I got in a box of some sort, and I'm trying to show it off and it just all fell out because I am clumsy. And to apply this, I'm using a bit of glitter glue on the back of my hand, and I'm then taking the glitter glue onto a shader brush, and I'm just patting this on my lower lash line, or a little bit further down on my lower lash line, and then I'm going to be using the same brush and just dipping it into the glitter. And then we just pack the glitter on, and it is so pretty. Can you just look at that? Oh my goodness, so much sparkle. I just love it so much, and I kind of get like Christmas vibes from this look already. And since I have purple on my lower lash line, I thought I would go in with Piggy Bank from ColourPop. This is just a purple eyeliner. I really like this. And get ready for this magic trick. Oh, look at that. That was so easy. For lipstick, I'm using the Ultra Satin Lipstick by ColourPop in the shade Ambush, and I thought I would go with red because the rest of my look is already so festive that I might as well just go all out. So I am really happy with how this look came out. This is my first time ever using glitter in this way, and I got so many compliments on this, and I think this was just so much fun. So moving into look number 3. This is probably going to be the most quote-unquote complicated look that I do in these 3 looks. So I'm starting off by taking Alpha, which is the dark brown shade, and I am packing this into the outer corner of my eye, not really into my crease. And the reason why I like to do this first is because I don't want to have to deal with any kind of patchiness, and I want this to be on top of something that is already sticky. And then what I do is I go in with Mariposa, which is a dark orange shade, and I use this to blend out the brown that we just put down. And I'm also pulling this shade into my inner corner. Now, this is how most people would start their look, by using this shade first and then going in with the darkest shade, but I like to be a rebel and do the opposite. So I'm also going back in with the darker brown shade and just really intensifying this color and make sure that it is as pigmented as I can possibly get it. And then for some fun, I am taking the yellow shade again, which I'm using again on my same brush that I've used for my whole look. This is the ColourPop E9 brush, and I'm tucking this into my inner corner, and I'm not pulling it into my crease, but up towards my brow, because this will really make the shade stand out. For my lower lash line, I am going to use Ivy, which is the dark green shade, and this shade is beautiful. I love this shade so much. So I'm just packing this onto my lower lash line as much as I can, and then sort of blending out the edges when I get there. And the nice thing about having a brown in my outer corner is that the green blends in really nicely to it. And to get a bit of a nicer blend on my lower lash line, I'm taking a small fluffy brush, and I'm using the lighter green shade, which is called Fenris, to just blend this out. And for my lid shade, there was no way I was not going to use Huchera. I don't know how to say that word. I don't know what it means. If anybody knows what it means, please let me know. I'm using this sprayed because I just find that the pigmentation on the shimmers are a lot better when you just spray them with some Fix Plus. And for the glitter on this look, I am using Gold Goddess by Stila again, I know, and I'm really struggling to get enough glitter out of this now because I'm running so low, which is crazy because I never thought I would ever go through one of the Stila Glitter and Glows, but hey, here we are. And as you can see, I'm actually going in with the applicator now, which is something I rarely do, so that really means that I'm running low and I should run out and get another one. And since I love colored eyeliner so much and I always like to match my shadow on my lower lash line, I'm using Teaspoon by ColourPop, and then I do another magic trick where I just put on liner and mascara in a heartbeat. And then for my lipstick, I'm using Pumpkin Pie by Jeffree Star, and I love this orange lipstick so much. And this will conclude the tutorial part of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. So that was all the 3 looks. I hope you enjoyed them. Let me know down below which one was your favorite because I always like to know. As for the review on this palette, now to start off, the artwork on this is so beautiful. I really feel like this brand has the best packaging out there right now. Like, this is just so beautiful, and I love the fact that most of the colors that are on the outside of the palette are also on the inside. I will say though that I'm sure you guys saw in the video that I really did not use these 4 shades at all. I used this one today, and I think I might have used one of the other 2, but I just feel like they're kind of a waste of space, to be honest. Like, when they started sneak peeking this palette, they first showed these 2 rows and everybody was so excited, me included, and then when they showed the top row, it's just kind of like, I don't feel like these colors work with the palette that well, especially not like these 3. I just feel like we don't need them. This shade right here is light enough to be used as a transition shade, so I really don't feel like you need this. And also, yeah, it's fine to have one to set your eyeshadow primer with if you do that, but everyone who sets their primer already has like either a single or 10 other palettes that has a bone colored matte. So I mean, really, we don't need this. This I don't mind as much because it works good with the brown and the orange, but for me personally, I never really use transition shades that are that light, so I don't really get a lot of use out of that. So obviously that's definitely something that will pull down my rating of this palette, because I feel like 3 shades in a palette that I personally won't be using is a lot, and it's space that could have been placed for other shadows instead that would have made this palette for me a lot better. Like, I would have loved to have seen some kind of blues in here, because if you look at the front of the palette, there's a couple of accents of blue. You have blue inside of his eyes, you got blue in this little butterfly thing, and I think that blue would have been so beautiful in this color scheme. As for the quality of the shadows though, I think the quality is great. I think it's the same formula that is in the Dragon Child palette that I absolutely love. The only thing that I will say though is be a little bit careful with the shimmers, because they do tend to get hard pan really easily. So if you're the kind of person who likes to spray your brush like I do, maybe make sure that you're not dipping your wet brush into the color after you sprayed it, and that you put the color on the brush before you spray it, because I've had to scrape this off now once, and I'm assuming I'm probably going to have to do that again because I need to get through that layer of hard pan. And I know you can use tape or something, but I didn't have any tape on hand, so I couldn't do that, so I just kind of scraped off the top. But that's just one thing to keep in mind. I do think the quality of this palette is great. I like the color story, except for these 3 top shades right here. Would I recommend the palette? If this is a color story that you like, I think you will be happy with this palette. Do I think you need it? I feel like you could probably dupe these with a lot of the colors that you have in your collection already, if you already have a big collection, but I do think that the color story in this is pretty unique, and I don't see a lot of color stories that are similar to this. So I mean, like I said, if this is something that interests you, I would not steer you away from this palette at all. I think it's a really good palette. So I'm just going to jump in here real quick because I forgot to rate this while I was doing my review. So the quality of this palette is absolutely amazing, but for the reasons that I mentioned, I'm going to give this palette a 7.1 out of 10. But if it wasn't for that top row, this palette definitely had potential to become a 9+ very quickly. And I'm so excited to see what else they come out with in the next year, because this is a brand that I feel like has so much potential, and they have such good ideas, and I love the fact that they take inspiration from nature, because nature has so many colors to choose from and so many different things that are just so colorful and pretty and unique and cool, and I love that. So I hope you like the looks that I came up with. If you have not already checked out BeauBean's channel and her video, I will link her up in the cards down in the description. You know the drill. Please go check her out. Tell her I sent you, because I would love it if you would go support her as well. So that was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching as always. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!